Hi, I'm making a movie. I was gonna mic myself for this, but I was having a card issue with the Tascam and the batteries died, like, right before it, so I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna film it. It's just me talking to the camera, so. Hi, my name is Ian Roberts. I'm an independent short filmmaker. I have been making short films since I was in middle school, but I don't really count those ones, because those ones are a little crusty. I think in total I've made about like 60 short films now, but only like 4 of them that I'd actually count. I also have this series where I watch bad movies and make fun of them. It's called Terry's Terrible Theater. I think some of you have seen it. While that's been fulfilling for me for the past 2 years, it's not something I'd like to pursue forever. With that statement, I'd also like to reiterate that I'm not canceling Terry's Terrible Theater. I'm more of just taking a break from it. You know, I've hit a certain point in my life where I've realized I'm not getting any younger, and if I want to pursue what I want to do, then, you know, this is how I want to take the steps to get there. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. A lot of this stemmed from me sitting down and realizing I really want to create something I'm proud of and can put effort into. And I just feel like at this moment, what that is this project that I have planned. Speedy, A Redemption Story was a screenplay I began writing in early 2021, and I was originally supposed to be a 2-part screenplay, and then eventually I think I just meshed it into one approximately 40-minute screenplay, or I say approximately because we haven't filmed it yet, and we might expand on some things come the time before now and then. We're gonna do some changes to the screenplay. Not too much the story, but just some minor changes and such. Speedy, A Redemption Story is about a character named Speedy, or also referred to sometimes by his fans as the Hedgehog, who was everyone's favorite and fastest star athlete of the 90s when one day, after attempting a track and field stunt like never before, he ended up getting into an extreme injury and loses it all. Now he's washed up, broke, and overweight, and living with his crack addict of a roommate, Tails. Now in order to pay off his rent, he must partner up with the brother of his former athletic rival, Louie, and help assassinate everyone's current favorite athletic star, Super Martino. If it isn't obvious enough, Speedy is a parody of the video game character Sonic the Hedgehog. The film itself is kind of an homage to the whole Sega versus Nintendo rivalry in the 90s and how eventually Sega kind of began to sink in terms of the console wars, and you know, the Sonic games just kind of began to lower in terms of expectations as well. As a side note, I'd just like to mention my own personal belief is that I believe the Sonic franchise is exceeding right now in everything but video games. Like, you know, we're getting movies and stuff, we're getting, like, I think he did a TV show right now, or recently, I think that was really cool. You know, independent developers are making their own Sonic games that Sega's publishing, and people think that is cool. So it's just a matter of, you know, they just can't make, the games themselves are not what they used to be, is what I'm trying to say. I'm reading this one directly off the script so that I don't say something wrong by accident. I want to make it 100% clear that we are not affiliated with Sega, nor Nintendo, or any other video game company for that matter. We are simply a film parodying the characters of which each of their companies / games represent. So we're not affiliated with them at all. Okay, so in terms of our cast, if you don't already know by now, I'm very traditional when it comes to casting movies. Like, I always cast, like, the same people playing kind of similar roles, but I don't necessarily always make them the exact same. They're just, every time it's just a little bit different. For the role of Speedy, I have casted my incredibly close and talented friend, Jacob D. Thompson. He is best known, I think, from his Johnny Cantaloupe series, which I'm sure some of you have probably checked out. He's also been in some of my own videos, which I'm sure some of you have probably seen. For the role of Speedy's crack-addicted roommate, For the role of Speedy's crack-addicted roommate, Tails, Tales, I have chosen to cast my close friend McKean Sharp, who, if he's been in a lot of my other movies, you probably remember him from The Ravengers. He's been incredibly close with me over the years, and I'm happy to have him play the role. Okay, so in terms of a cast, we are still casting people. We're still doing auditions. We have 5 more parts needed to be casted. I thought we would have all the casting done by now. We don't. Part of it just came from, we kind of ran out of time, and we just didn't have all the audition. We didn't find what we were exactly looking for in our first set of auditions. We have one that we still haven't contacted. We're pretty sold on the role, but we just haven't had that. We haven't gone and contacted that person. We're just kind of waiting a little bit longer till we get closer to the shooting time. Aside from the main cast, we have around 23 extra roles, which none of them are locked in. I've been talking with a few people who I want to play extra roles. One that I think is the closest to being locked in is a small voice cameo from my good friend Roland Speaks, or just Roland, if you will. He has his own YouTube channel where he reviews movies and gaming content, kind of like mine a little bit. He did a recent video about the Mario anime movie. I made a small cameo appearance in the video. Go check it out, it's really funny. I am also playing a small cameo role in Speedy: A Redemption Story. I'm not going to spoil what it is yet, because it's kind of a big surprise, sort of. So I'm not really going to spoil it yet. But I am casting myself in my own movie as a small role. In terms of a crew, I have a sort of semi-new mix of people. Like people I've kind of just worked with partially, and then people that I have worked with. One of which is Corban Rec. If you don't know, I worked on I was in his OnlyFans movie. I know what that sounds like. It's not like that. It's about a guy who his girlfriend breaks up with him, so he decides to make an OnlyFans to get back at her, and it's hilarious. I had a lot of fun on that one, but it's not like that. Also on this crew, I have Justice and Zach, who, if you don't know, they helped me work on a few of the green screen bits for Terry's Terrible Theater. They were also the dancing cockroaches in that video. Aside from that, I also have some other people who are like slowly trickling in. I had 2 crew members leave due to personal reasons, which I'm not going to get into. I'm already looking to fill their roles on the crew, and so far, I think I already got an idea for what I'm going to film. So this is the hard part. In order for all of this to happen, we need about $7,000. Why do we need $7,000, you may ask? Well, we need to pay for things like equipment. I mean, a lot of the equipment I already have is pretty okay, but I'd like to have some better equipment for once. We need to pay for things like props. There's also a few custom props that I want made. That's going to cost money. I would like to have a full cast of professional actors who I can pay money to be in this movie. That's going to cost money. A lot of locations are locations that are easily accessible to us. There might be about 1 or 2 that we may need to pay for. I'm not sure if I shared this before, but the last episode of Terry's Terrible Theater cost me about $120, and that's not including the equipment and props I already had. Thus, why we are doing a Kickstarter for all of this. And of course, on our Kickstarter, we have a lot of perks, like we have getting your name in the movie as a special thanks. We have signed posters. I think we talked about thank you cards. I think somewhere on there might be stickers. I can't really remember, but there is a lot. Our goal is $7,000, but I think we could make everything work with a minimum of $6,000. I don't want people to be like, oh, Ian desperately needs this money to make his movie. I must give him every dime in my pocket. No, don't be like that. See it as something like, oh, hey, I found $20 on the ground today. You know, what if I just put $10 into this project this guy is making? I am very passionate about this project. I want it to live up to the best that it can be. If I can get the money for it, great. we'll make it work. And if we don't, I will move on to the next project, and that will be that. It would mean a lot to me to make this. Filmmaking is my passion. I've done a lot to be able to get here. I've had a lot of people, a lot of support from loved ones and friends who have helped me along the way, and now I'm at this point where I want to seriously make something that I can be proud of. Whether or not this film is made is not going to change that. If it succeeds, great. If it fails, I'll make something else. As a side note, we will be filming a scene demo soon, sometime between June and July, so during the Kickstarter, or the length of the Kickstarter. Aside from that, thank you all very much, and we'll see when we get there.